Why should I have to, do that? Why not make money on that, too? And that's the deal. It's on the air. It's on the table. Pete Bolger, give me a call. He's the guy who's in charge of 610. Give me a call. Let me know. For free, I'll give you the show.
That's an added bonus.
As an added bonus, like Phil Hendry's butter cookies. I'll give you the show. You can have it for free in a major market. Because I'm not a greedy little sucker, but I'll tell you, the second year, it's going to cost you, pal. Because I will win this challenge. And that is the solution to our problem. I always know the answers, don't I? I like it a lot. Newsradio 1040, WJNO. If you're on the Atkins diet or any other low-carb, sugar-free diet, Delights of West Boca, that's where you should be going. I've been gnawing on that taffy. They got new stuff now. They got, the chocolate bars with 0 carbs, no sugar. If you're a diabetic, you're going to love these things, but you can't overdo because they do have a laxative effect. They'll give you the turkey Reubens. And so you can only eat like a couple of squares at a time. But the taffy, man, I started gnawing on that yesterday, and I've been gnawing on it all last night. There's a mint taffy that's, it's okay. But I like that strawberry taffy. That stuff's outrageous. No carbs, no sugar, and it really satisfies your craving for sweets and chewing, It's great. And they've got new hard candy, also no carbs, sugar-free, and Carbolite ice cream. And what they've done, when I say sugar-free, they sweeten all these things with Splenda, so no aspartame. It's great. And the new selection of no-carb barbecue sauces is worth checking out, too. Dips and dressings also, and the company is Walden Farms. Go in there and try some of their barbecue sauce. I think that's pretty damn good. Delights of West Boca, it's one-stop shopping if you include the low-carb cheesecakes and the breads and the crackers and all the crunchy things and no-carb shakes and pancakes and syrups. And sample everything. See if you like it before you buy it. That's the beauty of Delights. You don't have to take, some of these things are pretty expensive. And, you get like a bag of taffy, but it's $5. Okay. Got to pay extra because it takes a long time to create these products. A lot of research and development money, a lot of, And so you pay a little extra for these products. So don't buy them until you're sure that you really like them. That's my best advice. And Delights invites you to do exactly that. We love them. They're just so knowledgeable, and they're so courteous. And they really do keep the store open until 10:30 at night to accommodate each and every body. They're on northeast corner of Glades Road and 441. They're next to the Boston Market. Give them a call at 1-877-LOW-CARB. That's toll-free from anywhere. Get them on the web at lowcarb.com. And remember, it's Delights of West Boca, official Atkins Retail Center.
WJNO. You're listening to the Randi Rhodes Show. To be a part of it, call toll-free at 930-9566 in Dade, Broward, and the Treasure Coast. 844-WJNO in the Palm Beaches. Star JNO for Bell South mobility users. And Pound JNO for AT&T wireless customers. Now, back to Randi on Newsradio 1040 WJNO.
I'm blind.
Stop.
I'm blind.
Looks good.
I know. This is a bad story. I went to Ideal Cut Diamonds, okay? I went to Ideal Cut Diamonds about a couple days ago because I pass them all the time when I go home because I get off at, off of I-95 at exit 3016, my bra size. And then I go down towards Powerline to get onto the Sawgrass, and they're right on Powerline in Hillsborough. My engagement ring, I lost the center stone, the big Hocker stone.
Oh, God.
Big giant stone. I didn't want to tell Jimmy that I lost it. So I went to Ideal Cut Diamonds, and I brought them my ring with the big hole in the middle. And I said, what can you do for me? They replaced the stone for me.
Good work.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
I can't stop looking at it. It's so sparkly.
Well, enough with the beam. You keep beaming us in here.
Yeah, for a girl who's not sure she's working on Monday, I sure spent a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
I don't seem to be worried about that.
Save the receipt.
No, screw it. If I'm going out, I want 3 carats on my finger to show that I once did something. Everybody starts hoarding money around this time, when these rumors are flying around the radio station. They want you out. They want you in. They want you out. They want you in. So I just thought, hey, I got a new house that instantly I will not be able to afford.
Oh,
right? So I might as well just take the little bit of cash that I have and go buy myself a 3-carat diamond and put it in this ring. All right, it's only 2. Here's Daniel on Hope Sound.
Hi, Randy. I just wanted to let you know that you do have the respect of some of your former adversaries. I was listening to Steve Kane the other day. And he was saying how, in his fantasy radio station, he was going on about how silly your bosses were to do such a thing. And that...
I'll tell you, nobody understands it.
He would be the only one he could think of that could go toe-to-toe with him, and how he would love to have you on this fantasy station that he was cooking up. And I remember when he used to really put you down when I lived down in Broward.
I was just going to say, let me tell you what a lion sack of crap he is. The very first talk radio job I ever had, I had with him.
I remember on the light bulb.
Right, exactly. And I went on the light bulb.
I lived down there then.
And I went on the light bulb and I did something bad because I knew it was the only way to get attention. That's such a self-credit. You know, they eat each other for breakfast over there.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, well, if I have to go and do this, I'm going to make my mark. So I pretty much peed in the corners and claimed my turf, and I started to trash the whole station and say how terrible it was and how they all sucked and none of them had talent and that I was the only one that had talent, couldn't get a job. And, of course, they were listening, and the next day I get called into Steve Kane's office, and Steve Kane tells me he waits for a week to go by. Lets me simmer at home. Right, that was the thing. He let me simmer for a week at home to find out whether or not I'd ever be used again as a fill-in person, which was, you don't get paid to do that over at that station. And a week later, he calls me up and tells me, come into his office. He wants to talk to me. I come into his office, and he tells me he actually psychoanalyzed me. And he told me, I'll never forget this as long as I live, because he made me cry. He told me I was a passive-aggressive personality, because off the air I'm very relaxed and calm, and on the air I'm very agitated. He told me I was a passive-aggressive personality for that reason.
Well, most talk show hosts are like that, aren't they?
They better be, or they're going to be nuts. It's the healthy way to handle it. Some people never turn it off, and they're neurotic, like Steve. But anyway, he starts to tell me about how I'm this personality, and so he can't have me working there. But the whole radio station did nothing but get calls about me for a solid week. That caught the interest of Gary Bruce at WIOD. He thought, my God, this girl was on one time, and for 1 week the whole station is talking about nothing but her? And he called me up and let me audition for the job at IOD, and that's how I got my job at IOD.
Well, I remember when they used to play the best of Randi Rhodes when you'd be off for something, and they would really make a big joke like, well, where did they get the best of her? She don't have any best.
Oh, they called me every name in the book. Every name in the book.
The way the other day he was just tinkling all over you. It was unbelievable. I thought that maybe he even though you would probably never want to work with him.
I wouldn't eat dinner with him.
His opinion somewhat.
Let me tell you something. I would never eat dinner with that man, okay? With me and him, it's not business. It is personal. Okay? Now, I will say this. Rick Seiderman and I, who should not be getting along at all, okay? Mm-hmm. He was the guy I filled in for that very first time. He and I are friends. We go out to see plays all the time.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend who puts on plays in Miami. Got a great director named Joe Adler, who is, he's not my husband's business partner, but they partner up on certain projects. And Joe is in my life almost every day. And Joe and Rick are friends. And so Joe put me and Rick together in a room, and we actually like each other. But I don't personally like that man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that he particularly liked you either. It was more of a thing like, boy, she would be one person that I could spar with,
But you know what? He has no reason to like or dislike me because he doesn't know me. But I can tell you that what he put me through for 1 week of my life and what he did in that office and the way that he analyzed me and the way that he psychologically tried to assign labels to me was really unacceptable. Unacceptable. And the way that he ran that station was unacceptable. The whole thing was unacceptable. I don't like him. I don't like him as a boss. I don't like him as a talk show host. I don't like him as a person.
Will you guys still be on 1330?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes,
I think so. I don't know. Monday we'll all find out everything.
So I'll still be able to pick you up here pretty good, I guess.
Is it nice there in Hope Sound?
Oh, Hope Sound's kind of like Mayberry almost.
Good.
People wave at you and speak to you. Everybody blows the horn at you to stop lights or anything.
Am I big in Hope Sound?
Yeah, everybody knows your name.
Oh, good, okay.
More people know Randi Rhodes, the talk show host, than they do the bass player, I think.
He's a guitar player, but good try. Okay, thanks, Daniel.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Here's Richard in Port St. Lucie. Hi. Richard. No, Shirley in Delray.
Hi.
Hi, sorry.
Every once in a while, when I wake up late in the night, I turn on the radio, and I get a repeat of the morning show, this Steve... what's his name? The one you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And he has his little weasel on.
On what station are you listening?
Now?
Yeah, no, when you hear him.
I think it's the business. I don't know. Every time you turn it on, they give you different call letters. It's WNN or who knows what. It's about 8:50.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
No, is it?
Okay.
7:50.
7:40.
Is it 7:40?
Or maybe, I don't know.
Nobody
anyway,
knows.
they repeat.
This is why, can I just say this? This is why the way they do the ratings is such crap. Because here's Shirley, who knows the name of the person she's listening to, but she really doesn't know the frequency she's listening to. And if you don't tell them what frequency you're listening to, again, you don't count.
741.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Every time I turn that station on, I hear different call letters, so who knows?
Right.
Anyway, they have this little weasel on. Is Brian something?
I don't know. I don't listen to that.
Well, I don't really listen either. This is to put me back to sleep late at night. And
try C-SPAN. Works for me.
Well, last week, or maybe earlier this week, he must have spent an hour knocking you and Jack. But I'll tell you, that's the best publicity you could have gotten.
Well, apparently not. You don't know what station it was.
Well, what I'm saying is anybody
not like one of the big ones.
He mentions this your station.
See, if Howard would do an hour on me and Jack, I would say that's the best publicity I get.
Well, no, but he did
the little weasel. The little weasel doing it doesn't really do me any good.
Yeah. Well, what can I tell you? But he does it in the morning. See, it's a morning show.
Oh, see, I have no idea what you're talking about. Who it is?
They're in the morning. They're on. I don't know what the hell station.
748.
Well, now isn't it interesting that everybody knows us, but we don't know them?
Well, I can't get it in the morning.
Well,
so that's the only time I hear it is at night as a repeat, and only to put me back to sleep.
Well, you know, it's funny with me. I can get it in the morning, but it puts me back to sleep too.
Oh, well, I can understand that.
Right.
Anyway, this
I wish my husband would.
And they use such foul. They speak to their callers. I mean, they call them scumbags.
Yeah, I know.
Disgusting.
People think you have to be rude in order to be entertaining because they're not really funny and they're not really compelling and they're not really interesting. And so when you're not really any of those things, it's like a comedian. When a comedian isn't really funny, there's a thing we used to tell each other in the comedy club. When the crowd was so bad, people wouldn't blame themselves for not being able to win over a bad crowd. They would just say, time to do dick jokes, meaning that if you go blue or if you go nasty, people will be somewhat interested in what you're saying. And so people who have nothing to say or they have no talent, they can't make you laugh, they don't want to, they don't know how to tell a story to save their lives, they couldn't pull a topic out of their ass that anybody would be interested in on a particular day, and they can't carry the show without a topic, they just go nasty. And they think that's entertaining.
They're nasty to each other.
Yeah, I know.
They're disgusting.
I know.
I don't know how they stay on the air. But they're on so early in the morning, I assume nobody listens.
I can't believe you can get that station in Delray.
At night, only on the repeat.
Oh, at night.
At night.
That's
I don't get
weird.
it. No, this is the middle of the night.
Oh, okay.
It's not in the morning. I can't get them in the morning at all.
Why isn't your radio by your bed tuned?
It is by my bed.
I know, but why isn't it tuned to this station?
It is.
So how are you listening to them when you wake up?
Because sometimes that other guy who's on in the, what's his name?
Art Bell?
Art Bell. He turns me off sometimes. So I look for something else.
Okay. All right. Just wanted all your radio listening habits known to me. That's all. I just wanted to know.
Well, my kitchen radio is never tuned to anything else.
I see. So we're big in the kitchen, not in the bedroom. Hey, that is the story of my life.
Except in the middle of the night.
That's the story of my life. You just outlined it. You just said it all.
But I love you, and if I can't get you next week, like I told Johan, I'm going to explode.
Yeah, well, start calling people.
I call.
Not these people.
Protest.
No, it's like I said.
Get with the Cubans.
Listen to me. I'm so serious. Don't call this place. This place has made up its mind. Yeah. It's a done deal. We're switching frequencies. Everybody's going to have to learn to accept that set at 1290. And hopefully we can serve a part of Palm Beach that we've been missing because the engineers say so. Not that, I just got a call from Hope Sound. I just got a call from Port St. Lucie. I get calls from Jupiter. I get calls from Jupiter Farms. I can't imagine that they don't hear it there, but they're telling us that they don't. And so this is the reason that they put us over on 1290, supposedly. I'm not really down with that whole theory because it makes no sense.
Well, I don't understand.
But the thing to do, if you can't get 1290, is to call 610 WIOD in Miami. Yeah. And call them and say, Randy will give you the show. She works for the same company that you are.
Oh, it is the same company?
Yes.
Ah.
And she will give you the show for free.
Well, I heard you talking about that a little while ago.
Yeah, it's so easy to do because, yes, it is the same company. No, they don't have anything worthwhile on that station. No, they don't have any ratings, and that's a monster signal, too.
Are they just going to switch the programming from...
That's what they said, is an even...
From one to the other?
They said it's an even switch.
Why are they willing to lose revenue in Broward and Dade County?
Now, that's why I'm saying, Shirley, it doesn't make any sense. From a business standpoint, makes no sense. So there's got to be more to it than what we know. And that's why I'm not willing to trash anything that's happening. And that's why I'm not willing to go on the air and scream and yell and say how stupid these people are.
Even though they are?
I don't believe they're stupid. I just don't think that they have shared with us everything that they are doing yet. I just don't believe I know everything right now.
Well, I'll try calling WIOD.
But that's a good solution. If we do know everything that we're supposed to know right now, and this is as far as the information will go, and that we are just going to make an even swap onto 1290, and that's the way it's going to be, then I would say we need to we need to actually do something about getting me on 610.
Okay.
All right.
Give it a try.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just, for the life of me, cannot believe that I know everything right now. It doesn't make any sense that this would be it. Nobody can figure it out, so therefore we must not have all the variables solved in the equation. That's what my best guess is. It just doesn't make any sense. We're making money hand over fist. I know what my ratings are. They were enormous. 7.4 if you must know, and that's like unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They're sitting on 610 with 2 shares, 0.2 shares. They're sitting with people, doing shows that are getting 1s and 2s and 3s. I mean, how do you turn your back on a proven person in that market for free? I would take that offer.
Added bonus.
What the hell would I have to lose as a program director? She wants to give me the show for free. I'll take it. Right. Makes no sense.
We dare them.
It is a dare. It's a double dare, Pete. And you know what's good? Pete Bolger loves me. So it's like a win-win situation to be working for somebody that likes me. I like him.
Yeah, he's been up here a few times.
Sure he has. Yeah, he's been up here a bunch of times. It's just either we don't know everything, which is what I'm betting. I'm betting we don't.
Tell us something.
If I had to bet, if I were a betting girl, I would bet we don't know everything.
I'll bet with you.
But if I do know everything, and you know everything, and this is the way it is, and on Monday we're going to be on 1290, and that's the way it is, and it's going to be even flip-flop. Their programming will be on this, and we'll be on that, and that's the way they're going to do it, then I'd say the best outlet for me is to get the people who are really pissed off in Broward, who are really upset in Boca, West Boca, to call WIOD. Because this is a done deal. That I could tell you. We are going to switch, and that's done. And I know they spent money on it, and once they spend the nickel on it, forget it, it's done. They're not going back on it. Newsradio 1040 WJNO. If you're looking for a very unique present, for a wedding present, a housewarming gift, like these not-so-clear holidays, I would suggest a lovely gift from Siden Striker glass. A housewarming present from Siden Striker would be just lovely. I would love to receive that from any of my friends when I move into my palatial new estate. I would love that. They have the most gorgeous glass dishes and bowls, plates, platters, vases, everything handmade by the craftsmen at Siden Striker right there on the premises in Lake Worth. They're on South Dixie Highway in Lake Worth. You'll be amazed when you walk in. The showroom is absolutely beautiful. It's shelves and shelves loaded with the most beautiful, sparkling glass plates, platters, vases, all kinds of absolutely stunning pieces. And they do have, every year they do a special plate for Christmas, and so that means they can do things that you would ask them to do for you. You needed, I needed a special color for my kitchen, and they designed me a chip and dip set that was so beautiful. I use it all the time until I smashed it. They did a fabulous job. I picked a pattern I love. I picked the embassy pattern, and then they did it for me in like a really bright red. It was just beautiful, really stunning. Plus, it's dishwasher safe, so when you get like a chip and dip like I did, hey, you can use the thing. It's not just signed art, and it is signed art. All the pieces are signed, and all the glass from Siden Striker is so renowned. Siden Striker is on exhibit in the Museum of Modern Art in New York, so you are getting art glass. There's no question about it. But it's so beautiful and affordable. You'll love this place. If you haven't been there, please make it a point to go. They're at 19 South Dixie Highway, just past City Hall in Lake Worth, Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4. Tell them I sent you Siden Striker glass.
Now, it's the goddess of radio, Randi Rhodes.
She's not a woman. She's the Terminator.
On Newsradio 1040, WJNO.
They've got a body count in movies. There's a lot of blood and guts on the TV. And kids have seen so much, I think it's getting scary. 'Cause all they seem to do is act violently. Well, I bet you it's gonna leave a big scar to watch an actor get blown straight to hell. The movies seem to take the action too far with all the graphic violence they sell. So I hope you won't take your kids to the movies. And I hope you'll turn off the TV such a huge crime. 'Cause all the movies do is act violently. Yeah, all the movies do is act violently. 'Cause all the movies do is act violently.
I'm trying to watch CNN right now. We're not allowed to broadcast CNN, are we?
I just say no.
Well, I want to hear, I've been following this case because, I've been talking about how we have been lowering the age for the death penalty. There are some states that really want to lower the death penalty age to 11. And there's a case right now in Detroit. There's a 13-year-old Michigan boy who had committed a murder, or the jury said he committed a murder, a second-degree murder. I'll give you the specifics in a minute, when he was 11. And the jury convicted him of second-degree murder, and his sentencing is today, and he's 13 now. He was 11 2 years ago at the time of the incident. And there are three possible things that could happen to him. He could be sentenced as an adult. Can you imagine a 13-year-old boy being put in a maximum security prison with adult men? That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's disgusting. Or they can give him a juvenile sentence, or they can give him what they call a blended sentence, which is it's when they defer adult punishment until later. It's like you'll live your life over here in this facility, and when you're 18, we'll decide what to do with you. So for 5 years, this kid won't know whether he's a free man, and he should prepare for the outside world, and he should work on counseling, and he should work on his psychological, First of all, this kid is practically, I don't want to say the word retarded because the people get upset, but he is so slow, his IQ is borderline mental retardation. So not only do we, we actually execute mentally ill people. George W. has executed a mentally ill person in Texas, knowing this person was mentally ill. Didn't really give a rat's ass. Just get it done. It was like the Lucy episode when they were making chocolate in the chocolate factory. Roll him! And just, kill people. And so here's this 11-year-old, he's 13 now, and they're sentencing him right now, and I can see the pictures, but I can't hear.
I've tried every channel. I can't put CNN
I'm
on.
dying to know. Roger Cossack's going to be on in about 10 minutes. He's following this story, too. I wanted to talk to him about it, knowing that the sentencing was today. But all right, so we'll have a few minutes. He'll tell me what the sentence was. This is so frustrating that I could see it, but I can't.
I've tried every CBS
I'm not allowed
channel.
to broadcast it. So
we can't put this...
What? See? Yeah. The judge is speaking right now, and what I heard during the top of the hour, he was talking about abuse to children, and I didn't know where he was going yet. But, all right, so here's the story. You had this kid. His name is Nathaniel Abraham. All right? He swore he was aiming at a clump of trees and standing nearly 300 feet from the man he accidentally killed with a bullet wound to his head. All right, now I asked the question that you'll probably ask you, what is an 11-year-old doing with a rifle? This was a 30-year-old rifle, and it had a broken stock. It was in bad shape, and I guess somebody must have given it to him as a toy, thinking that it was unfireable or that it was just busted. And so he was standing in a clump of trees, and he was just, shooting it. And he actually killed somebody. He hit somebody at a convenience store in the head, and that person died. Now, a skilled marksman, testified at Nathaniel Abraham's trial. And while I'm telling you the story, I want you to try and guess what race this boy is. Okay? Just guess. A skilled marksman testified that it was, quote, 1 in 1,000 shot, even for an expert. He was standing in the center of a field, shooting toward a clump of trees, when the bullet ricocheted off a branch and struck Mr. Green, who was standing a football field's length away. Now, the prosecution says, no, the boy was perched on the edge of a berm, looking down on this area, and he killed Green with a single bullet to the head. They took the jurors to the scene on a county bus, accompanied by the judge, the family court judge Eugene Moore, the attorneys, and an army of deputies. And everybody, that was traveling down the street, Baldwin Street, all stopped to look, and they stood at the two sites from where this kid, Nathaniel, who didn't go to the scene, may have been shooting, and stared in the direction that he was pointing the gun that night. From Jeffrey Feiger is this kid's attorney. From the location where Jeffrey Feiger said Abraham was standing, the party store where Mr. Green was standing isn't visible. Add to the equation. Okay, and they also said that it would have taken a ricochet to hit Mr. Green because of the rise in the land. It was impossible to be a straight shot. Add to the equation that this kid at the time was 4 feet 8 inches tall. So he drew the diagram in the courtroom. They had a dispute over the diagram. The prosecution said that he had drawn it wrong. Jeffrey Feiger drew it wrong. Jeffrey Feiger accused the prosecution of tampering with evidence. It was a whole big battle that was going on. Finally, they took everybody to the scene so they could see for themselves. And what they found was that where the kid was standing, with his height especially, even if he was a tall guy, even if he was like 5'6", or he was a tall kid, let's say, or everybody knows women love the tall men. Tall men have more children.
Oh yeah. How you doing?
So to explain Larry King, wouldn't it? That it would have taken a ricochet to hit this Mr. Green. Okay, and this kid was only 4 feet 8 at the time. Problem is that he's now 13, and when the jury sees him, they see a tall person. And they find it hard to understand that he was only 4 feet. Well, anyway, from the location on the berm, the manhole where Mr. Green fell after being shot is visible. Go figure this.
Goodbye.
Even so, they said, the marksman said, I left the speakers on. The marksman said that it would have been an extraordinarily lucky shot if he had intentionally aimed at Mr. Green. And the marksman said, quote, if I hit 1 in 1,000 from that distance with a beat-up rifle used by this kid, it would be amazing. That was former world champion skeet shooter Elmer Magyar.
Oh, yeah, Elmer.
Good old Elmer. I used to shoot skeet.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Elmer and I go way back.
Oh!
Right, which is what Jim yells all the time.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He wants to shoot something. It's an 11. He said for an 11-year-old to hit the target would be nearly impossible. The kid's location at the time of the killing has been a source of controversy from the first day of the trial. Police took Abraham out to the site a few days after the killing and asked him where he was standing. A police technician measured the distance from the spot to the location where Mr. Green was shot and reported it at 288 feet. Nearly 300 feet. Now, they had a psychiatrist, Gerald Shiner, testify. He told the jurors that 11-year-old children lack the mental capacity to form the intent necessary to plan and carry out first-degree murder. I don't know if that's true. That's for you to decide, all right? He says a child at that age, he said, can't understand the full effects of what a weapon might do and the consequences. He told the jurors that he looked at all the tests and assessments of this kid, Nathaniel Abraham, and those tests and assessments show that he was functioning on the intellectual and emotional level of a 6 to 8-year-old when he was 11.